On the next episode of Button Check, the FGC is actually calling for the banning or the firing of whatever individual is running the Capcom Fighters Twitter page. And we got legend Daigo Umehara exposing Street Fighter 6 throw loops and certain players getting pissed and want changes. And LTG recently interviewed on one of the biggest podcasts out there, No Jumper, talks Street Fighter 6 and the new direction that his life is taking. We gonna check these buttons. Let's go.
Couldn't look away from the train wreck. You can blame it on the tech or the disrespect. Before you play, better button check. Button check.
What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another beautiful morning of checking these buttons. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got them chapters down below, content creators, all that good information, and that sub button is right there. We are so close to 55K. And with that being said, we got these first set of buttons. We got Daigo Umehara, the legend himself, right? Exposing Street Fighter 6 loops. Now, we've been talking about this for quite some time, but I think it's being magnified more than ever because we see Daigo doing it more than ever, right? I noticed that Nemo posted a video the other day talking about how Daigo loops are like blowing his mind, something like that. Oh. Then from there, Daigo was recently at CPT France, right, the offline premiere, and he made a viral clip doing the same thing, right, throw loops.
He says, I know your partner Phenom, I know he likes the command grab, you're probably on the same stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Not having it, not...
Yeah, you're going to have to earn this win against Daigo. Meanwhile, Daigo's going to throw loopy today.
Oh my days, Nugget, ooh, Daigo, Nugget, Daigo, come on! Oh, and he just jumps out! I'm too smart for you, says Daigo.
And then from that post, the FGC can't help but get that conversation started, right? A lot of people talking about throw loops and how dominant it is in the game and they want to change. I see Damascus posting this saying, the crowd is booing throw loops. Mature TV says, top tier characters, especially the rushdown type with plus frame buttons on block should not have throw loops. Rooflemonger posted as well saying, throw loops are so joyless. I see underscore posted as well saying, throw loops along with bad input functions and other factors just makes the game less enjoyable. I hope it gets better in Season 2. And Diaphone, I see him post as well saying, everyone is complaining about throw loops, yet they exist in almost every other fighting game. The difference is throws usually carry a lot more risk. If Capcom wants to keep throw loops, they could probably do something similar, like increasing the recovery on a throw a couple of frames for guaranteed backdash bonuses. And it goes on from there. And mind you, some of these comments were posted on different days, but I see Ryan Hart, right, come full circle with it, talking about how to beat throw loops, and he put like a little guide here using GIF. And you can see in the text where he put, I will demonstrate jump cancel command throw to beat throw loop. And like I said, video is only 60 seconds. We'll put a link down below so y'all can check it out. We'll check out a small clip. Let's go. Okay, so that's great, right? So people are like, oh, okay, well now there's a way to beat it, at least with, possibly GIF. But then if you read the comments down below, people are like, okay, well, how can you use it in a match? I'm running modern GIF and it's still tricky to use. And I notice other people either are thanking him, saying this is godlike, or they're gonna, try to lab it. But others are like, the window is so small, this is really difficult to pull off. So it's almost like, yes, it could work, but it's not like a end-all be-all solution from what I'm reading. So there you go, Daigo the Beast, Street Fighter 6 throw loops, just another thing, right? Another thing. We're still talking about the perfect parries. We're still talking about the drive rush. So many people want things fixed, right? Still enjoying the game, but now add throw loops to the mix. How y'all feeling? And speaking of the CPT, right, we're gonna continue on because it kind of connects right here. So the other day, right, well actually right here at CPT France, I'm gonna present this story the way it kind of revealed itself to me, right? So first off, we got 801 Gustavo, aka Strider, right, posted this saying, first we had the female competitor versus modern Blanca tweet. Now this, Capcom social media intern put it in work. That'll make sense in a moment here, right? So if you look at the tweet down below, basically they're commenting on that video we just watched of Daigo at offline CPT France doing the throw loops, right? The way Capcom Fighters titled that video, right, saying edge of your seat stuff, a game-winning drop by what, Veggie SF granting Daigo the Beast the win. Ken versus Give 2-1 at the CPT France offline. So you're thinking like the game-winning drop. Okay, so then you notice they say the game-winning drop, but they're talking about that clip we just watched with Daigo and the throw loops. And if you continue on and watch all of it, the clip that they posted, there is no drop. That's why the FGC is like, what is the intern talking about? And they keep calling him an intern. I don't know if they got the inside scoop or something like that. But they're basically, taking shots like, who is in charge of this? What are they talking about? The game-winning drop. And then it gets deeper, right? This is when they start calling for some banning or some firing. Because if you notice Gustavo, right? The beginning part of that tweet, he talks about first we had the female competitor versus modern Blanca tweet, right? That's where I was confused because I was like, what are they talking about right now? But if you go on, people posted it, right? Apparently, at some point in that same tournament, the official Capcom Fighters Twitter account posted this saying, a female competitor versus a modern Blanca player only at CPT 2023 France Offline. And then they give the players' names right here. Is that 1007? Is that Wooly or Wally? I'm not too familiar with them. Anyway, bring it back to what they posted, saying a female competitor versus a modern Blanca player only here at France Offline. Wow. That's fucking wild, right? In this day and age, I mean, think about how it is here in the States. You know what I'm saying? How everybody's so careful in wording everything and, the marketing, especially in this climate, right? With social media. And they just put out there a female competitor and a modern Blanca player. Almost like, hey, you're not gonna see this anywhere else. It's a fucking circus. This is kind of wild, right? I mean, y'all are checking these buttons, right? You're connecting these dots. Wild shit, to say the least. And of course, the FGC is reacting, right? Starting right here saying, bruh, there's no way. Only France Offline have modern Blanca players. Oh, and a female competitor. Somebody's getting fired at Capcom today. You see others, pretty much laughing at it. I see Nasser saying, random dude tweet about watermelon gets banned indefinitely. And of course, he's talking about F-Champ, right? I think back in 2020. Then he goes on to say, Capcom official count tweets about some female versus modern. Nothing happens. Keep nagging about it as well. Capcom Fighters should be banned in my opinion. Rules are rules. You can't make the rules if you can't follow them, in my opinion. Then, of course, it kind of goes viral. You see more people talking about they really typed that out. Or female detected, incoming blue background JPEG with white text, gender modern, and of course, the list goes on. Then when you go back to that tweet, it says, of course, this post has been deleted. I think they even made like another post about it or something like that. Not an apology, more like joking. I don't know what the hell is going on. You didn't really see a statement after that. You just see a lot of confused people like, why would they send some shit? Like, was it somebody that was working on the account from France? Somebody here in the States? I don't know. I don't really know how that works. A lot of people are calling them the intern. I mean, I guess remains to be seen. To me, it kind of seems like something you would see like in 2009 FGC. You know what I'm saying? Something that you would see back in the day and people would like not even blink an eye at it. You know what I'm saying? But now, like I said, we've come a long way and we're still coming even further. So to say something like that, to say a female competitor, modern, okay, I'll give you that. Not necessarily. I'll give you that because people shit on modern. Let's be real. They think it ruins like the hype and whatnot. But in a way, it doesn't make sense because there's so many modern players. Hell, there's pro players that are fucking amazing choosing to play modern. So now that modern is more common than ever, it's not really a strange thing. So to say, hey guys, you were seeing a modern player versus a woman. I mean, that's... And once again, just like the modern thing, we have female gamers all the time. There's some that are sponsored and pros and beating guys' asses and all that stuff. So just to put it out there, like I said, I think I'm just beating a dead horse at this point. It's wild. But as far as like banning somebody, if we're having, Capcom needing to make a statement or something like that, do you think anything's gonna happen or it needs to happen? How y'all feeling? Let me know. All right, now into them low tier guide, believe it or not, on no jumper buttons that need to be checked. All right, so I haven't did a story about LTG in quite some time. I know part of him doesn't really mess with the FGC too much anymore. I believe he still streams and whatnot. Got banned from YouTube, and now he's done like some huge interviews, right, on huge channels. Now he's on No Jumper, right? A lot of people contacted me like, yo, LTG is on No Jumper. The video, I think, is over 2 hours long. Definitely check it out. I'll put the link down below. A clip that caught my peak, right? Or does that even fucking make sense? A clip that caught my peak. A clip that piqued my interest is when they actually talked about fighting games, believe it or not. Talk about other things, but talk about fighting games and even Street Fighter 6. He goes on to say like his current views of Street Fighter and how he joins it or, plays it with an attitude. Check out the clip.
As that all those years I spent trying to beat Mortal Kombat 2 in the arcade where it was never going to happen.
Yeah, the computer reads you. It's designed to read you.
That's fucked up.
They don't make fighting games like that anymore. They make fighting games now to the point where if you're playing it for 3 weeks, you have the power to beat me.
Really?
Yeah. It's a casual industry now.
But there aren't goats in the game? Like players who are just absolutely unbelievable?
Goats. But if we're talking about like casual, like they make it so that a casual that never played this particular game before can beat a GOAT.
Do you resent that?
I mean, yeah.
Them just making the games like kind of too friendly for the passive.
Yeah. It's a casual industry now to read you.
That's fucked up.
They don't make fighting games like that anymore. They make fighting games now to the point where if you're playing it for 3 weeks, you have the power to beat me.
Really?
Yeah. It's a casual industry now.
But there aren't goats in the game? Like players who are just absolutely unbelievable?
Goats. But if we're talking about like casual, like they make it so that a casual that never played this particular game before can beat a GOAT.
Do you resent that?
I mean, yeah.
Them just making the games like kind of too friendly for the passive consumer?
Yeah, that's why I don't fuck with them like that anymore. It's just like, if I know that I could beat you in an older, more difficult game, but you could beat me in an easier, more, game that's just ABC 1, 2, 3, it just turns me off. Yeah, so just like me cutting on Street Fighter right now, just thinking about it, I have an attitude. Just I cut on Street Fighter 6, there's an attitude.
Do you think they just fucked up the franchise permanently because it's just more marketable for them to have it be easier?
I mean, as far as like on a grand scale, no, but on a lower scale, as far as difficulty and like that dense, only the best could do it.
Right.
That shit is out the window. Like you still got some of the best, but for the most part, now it changes up and shakes things up a little bit more. Because like I said, somebody could be better than you in 90 days.
All right, so there you have it. And obviously, like I said, the interview was a lot longer and they go in depth about a lot of stuff. Link down below. Check that out when you got time. But yeah, I don't think he said anything too crazy, right? Because a lot of people have had that point of view saying that they get aggravated with the way Street Fighter 6 is, especially online. Modern controls, and like he talked about how they almost took the power away, right? To where now if you play the game for 2 or 3 weeks, you have the power to beat somebody that usually would beat you, right? An experienced player. In the interview, he even goes on to talk about how he's kind of done, with fighting games. He's stepping back a little bit, even though he still enjoys them, but he wants to do acting. He wants to conquer that and try to focus on that. So it's interesting, right? Because at one point, man, it's like I keep saying, I've been saying this so much, FGC is in a weird place, right? It's in the best place we've been in a long time, but it's also just like, I don't know, it's kind of like this weird where things are just kind of floating right now. We're trying to make sense of shit. And in this case, what I'm referencing is LTG, right? He's had a certain persona in the FGC for quite some time. He got taken off of YouTube. Like I said, I think he's still streaming, still got a huge following. And still, even though he doesn't have his channel, on YouTube, which was really big, he's getting like these huge interviews and he's still popping up. And now it's seeming like he's transitioning to like something else where he's like, yo, I want to get my acting on and I want to be, something outside of the FGC, which obviously a lot of people in the FGC strive for. And at the same time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Capcom still has a ban on him where he can't go to EVO. I'm not sure if it's all tournaments or just EVO. I think it's just EVO, right? Which they've had it since like 2020. He's been banned for like 3 going on 4 years, and it's crazy because anytime I see like, replies and whatnot on Twitter, it's almost like they won't tell him why or give him like a chance to appeal or anything like that. From what I see, they don't even answer him like at all from some of the stuff that he says. So I don't know if that'll be overturned anytime soon, like if we're gonna start seeing LTG at EVO, but just imagine one day you're gonna be at the movie theater eating that popcorn, you're gonna look up and you're gonna spit that popcorn out because you're gonna be like, oh shit, get that ass banned. And if he does make it, then he makes it. Who are we to say shit? That's that man's destiny. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm still interested in interviewing LTG. I know there was a time where me and him had our differences and took shots at each other. I don't care about any of that shit. I'm trying to check these buttons. And if somebody has a story, if somebody especially is changing their life in a certain direction, I'd like to ask questions, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how y'all would feel about it, but I definitely think there's a story there. If you watch that interview that he did with No Jumper, he really wasn't talking shit. I mean, the thing, of course, was over like 2 hours long. I think I want to say I watched the majority of it. I didn't watch all of it. But from what I could see, he was very calm. He was like, this is who I am in real life. I'm trying to really do my acting thing now. Everything doesn't have to be negative, and I'm basically moving on with my life. So that to me just looks like everything is going in a new direction. Now, how will it tie with the FGC? Will it ever tie with the FGC? Time will tell. How y'all feeling? Let me know. That it is, ladies and gents. Definitely let me know how you are feeling. Thank you guys for rocking with us and all the amazing love. Patreons, super thanks, like and subscribe, helping the channel grow. It's exciting, man. We're so close to 55K. If I don't post tomorrow, it'll definitely be the next day. If you were on the Patreon, you know already because you got most of this video yesterday. But to everybody else, right in butt check lands, thank you because we got some really exciting stuff we're working with. And as always, I don't know what it is, but I know it's about to get better. Love y'all forever. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
And for that moment of FGC bliss, so y'all know, I'm not sure if you're too familiar, there's a comedian, right? Really hot, trending right now by the name of Ralph Barboza. He's actually from Dallas, Texas, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ralph. Young cat, just came out with a Netflix special. I'm a fan, can't say that I'm not. And the thing I like about this kid, he's down with anime and he's down with video games because he says he is, but at least I thought he was because he made this little bit talking about using video game moves in real life. Here's a clip.
It was like, now do L1, R1 at the same time. I was like, Hadouken, Hadouken.
My man did a DP and said Hadouken.